Welcome in ESPN 97.7 Region Rush, presented by the Matt Hickman team at Academy Mortgage. Play number 9, Jordan Eaton, little swing pass. Nobody can tackle him. He doesn't go out of bounds. He doesn't go to the sideline. You have to bring him down, and that's tough to do. And he gets a first down for Crimson Cliffs. Bo Wall, goal line package. Sauta blocking for him. He rumbles, and he had 2 touchdown runs in the semifinal game for Desert Hills. Here's Still Barbin, red zone. Mason Topalian leaks out. Watch this little deke move over to Ridgeline Riverhawks to get to the pylon for the score. Play number 6, Cyrus Polu. You don't throw to that side because that side is covered by that guy, and that's Cyrus Polu with his first pick of the game. Play number 5, Steel Barbin again. Now, what the heck is this nonsense? It runs up into the pocket. This is Patrick Mahomes stuff. Nobody can tackle him. Jumps up like Tebow, wings it for a first down. That's a playmaker. He did that a couple times in that game, leaving his feet and making a play. Tassi Sauta, you can't block this guy. Right up the middle, chases down the quarterback. Bow to your sensei for the sack. Play number 3, this is courtesy of Ward Sweeten on Twitter. We're going to play number 2, Cyrus Polu. Again, this play turned the whole dang game around. Cy Polu, the super sophomore, this one goes back for 6. And, of course, play number 1, Ty Supersonic West gets tangled up just for a second. He gets some open daylight and gone. He has been electric all season long with the big plays. Will he make one in the state championship game? Odds are probably yes. Welcome back, ESPN 97.7 Region Rush. We're here with our sponsors, Intermountain Sports Performance. We have Jake Ray. We've got Brennan Ames. It is state championship week, and we've got Desert Hills. We got Crimson. I know you guys know these programs pretty well. Jake, you've been with Crimson. Brennan, you guys have trained kids from Desert Hills for years. Tell me about your guys' excitement for this matchup on Friday.
Oh, we're totally excited. I've been lucky enough to work with Crimson Cliffs since the beginning of May, so I've got to know these guys pretty well, and they're rearing to go. They've played a lot of football games. We got a first-round bye week, but we didn't have a bye week in the season, which is tough, but, I mean, they all love football, so they want to play. So we're pretty excited to get going.
And, Brandon, how cool is it, 2 Region 10 teams playing for the title right here in St. George?
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't ask for anything much better than that. You've got Desert Hills, who's just a solid team every single year, and you've got Crimson, who's come on strong, just really exceeded expectations this year. I think they were picked to be 4th or 5th in the region or something, and ended up being first in the state for most of the year.
Yep.
So really kind of a clash of the Titans, and I know Desert Hills has got a loss to avenge from earlier in the season with them, and I know they're pretty fired up about that. So it's going to be a great, great football game.
These guys are both from Intermountain Sports Performance. They've been training Region 10 athletes for over 20 years. And Jake, I want to talk to you specifically about Crimson Cliffs. What's the journey been like this year from your perspective, training the team all year long?
Yeah, there's a lot of competition in this team. We got a lot of really, really good players. There's a lot of explosiveness in a lot of these positions. It's a very, very competitive wide receiver room.
Yes, it is.
As you guys, if you've been to a Crimson game, you know we score a lot of big touchdowns. That's kind of been our bread and butter, is guys being able to take the top off of the defense and score big touchdowns. So I think this week's going to be a high-scoring affair.
Talking about the explosiveness of this Crimson team, let's pull up the Ty West kick return from last week in the semifinal against Ridgeline. Jake, you love going and showing these players how fast they get on some of these big plays. What did you find out about this run by Ty?
Yeah, so Ty caught that ball around the 10-yard line and initially kind of got wrapped up by what seemed like the entire team, both teams actually. Like everyone was in a very small space, and he breaks it out and he just has the kicker to beat. He would have got a little bit faster on this one, but the kicker tripped him up just for half a second, and about the 30-yard line, he hit about 20.9 miles per hour. Wow. So he was moving, and it's really more impressive because that was a really long play for football standards. It was like a 10-second run, which usually isn't normal for football. So the endurance on that run is almost as impressive as the top speed.
We were talking before, Brennan, you were especially impressed this past week by a young guy, Cyrus Polu, who was kind of the X factor in that game on Saturday against Mountain Crest.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kid that we actually trained Jaron, his older brother, and I actually remember Cyrus coming into some of those sessions that Jaron was training, and I think Jaron was a junior or senior training with us, and Cyrus, you know, he he didn't look like much several years ago, but has turned into one heck of a football player. You look at what he did that last game. If you were to take out the plays that he was involved in, some of the key tackles, I think he had a couple interceptions. You take those out, who knows where Desert Hills ends up in that game. So he put on an impressive show. Pretty excited to see what he'll do this week.
All right, next, everybody knows before each game on ESPN 97.7, the announcers pick the Intermountain Sports Performance Star Watch player from each team. Since we have these guys here, we're going to let the experts pick them. Jake, you're going to pick the Star Watch player in the state championship game for Crimson Cliffs. Brandon's going to pick one for D Hills. Let's start with you. Who you got?
I think I'm going to go with our 2 running backs, the dual threat, Mason Topalian and McCord Christiansen, and our O-line, because everybody knows how good Desert Hills' offensive and defensive line is. So I think we really got to control that line of scrimmage, and we got to get some big runs. We did good through the air last time we played Desert Hills, but this week I think we need to be a little bit better on the ground.
All right, 2-headed monster from Crimson Cliffs in the run game, Christiansen and Topalian. Let's go to Brendan for the Desert Hills Intermountain Sports Performance Star Watch player.
Yeah, well, I've got to go with a Intermountain Sports Performance alum on this one, and would have to say probably Noah Fuialatolo. He wasn't there the first time these two teams matched up, and so that's really the question. Was he the difference maker, or can he be the difference maker? Is that the reason Crimson was able to pull together a victory there? Or were there other factors involved? So with him in the game, I think it's a different matchup than it was the first go-around, and it's going to be an added challenge for Crimson to face a quarterback as skilled and as experienced as he is. He's been starting since he was a sophomore, so he brings a lot of talent and a lot of experience to the postseason and to this game. So I put the Star Watch right there on Noah.
All right, cannot wait for Friday. Our coverage starts at 6 p.m. right here on ESPN 97.7. A ton of Intermountain Sports Performance alumni playing in this game. Before we go, guys, is there anything going on right now at Intermountain that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'd throw out a couple options. One, there's always velocity-based training, which if you watch Crimson football, if you watch a lot of the football players this season that have worked with us, they are faster and more explosive than we've ever seen. In fact, Jake was telling me some of the stats on 40-yard dash times from Crimson Cliffs football. There were more athletes under the 4.5 mark than I've ever seen on any team, and we've been testing athletes, combine-style testing, for me personally for 8 years. I've never seen that many under 4.5. So velocity-based training, got to put a big plug in for that, because that is the future, the revolution in sports performance training. For youth athletes, no matter what sport, what age, we're also kicking off our Season of Speed holiday special, which that's something that we do every year. This year we've added 2 additional specials to our holiday special. You can actually save $30, $60, or $100 depending on what package you buy. You can buy it now and start now, or use it anytime in 2023. So athletes, you're going to be training at some point next year. Might as well buy it now while it's on sale and save the money and save it for next year when you can use it.
And the best way online to go and check out Intermountain Sports Performance?
Yeah, if you hop online, easiest thing is stgeorgeregional.org/sportsperformance. You can also find us on Instagram at sportsperformance_STG. Either way, you can get a hold of us and get one of those specials going.
All right, Brendan Ames, Jake Gray, Intermountain Sports Performance. Thanks so much, guys. Awesome as always to have you here. And we'll be back next week with a new champion right here on the Region Rush.